as well.
Goalie and throat singing. You reckon you could give us a
10
demonstration of
No.
what
seconds
that?
remaining.
Okay,
I
okay.
live in an apartment complex, bro. I'm not going to start doing
Five
that.
It's
seconds.
Although
so
every time I
PM.
see a busker, time I see a busker doing it, I always go and give them some money because that shit takes a lot of skill, and I would like you would need some of that lemon, that honey drink concoction because it would be hell on the throat for sure.
Yeah, the throat's a it's a difficult thing to be able to master. Like you said, it's you need to be able to protect it. The lemon and honey is always the best way, but
So you're saying you've mastered your throat?
no, I do not think I
10
have it all.
seconds
My throat's
remaining.
always a little bit sore after some long hours of
5
casting.
seconds remaining.
Definitely wears you down as kobold. So looking for their third pick here in the 15th. What are we? Probably just a support, more than
Dire
likely.
team pick.
Nyx, maybe? Yeah. I mean, against a Medusa, right? It's one of the things that a lot of the can we call them lower tier teams? I mean, Apes did it specifically in response to Medusa, and they're unfortunately out of the DPC now. But Burn, why not? It it discourages you from wanting to have that against the Medusa. Yeah, they're not going to be playing against a Storm Spirit,
5
but
seconds
a lot of the
remaining.
mid laners these days don't really like going into a Nyx Assassin either. You just
Dire
need to be
team pick.
conscious of getting pushed, and I feel like that's something that an Abaddon's able to do. That's something that a Death Prophet's able to do. I'd be very surprised if they didn't look to get rid of something like the Beastmaster in this. Well, they can't exactly ban it out anymore, but I think they need to preempt it a little bit, even going
10
for
seconds
the
remaining.
Kunkka they've banned themselves. So not
5
100%
seconds
sure of
remaining.
what Kobolds are going to do, but I've got the feeling that Execration might go down that sort of route of, all right, they got an X Assassin, they got a Visage as well, stuff that is pretty terrible at dealing with split push. Let's just go for that.
Yeah, you can always put the Death Prophet as a 4 or a 2 if you really want to do that. We don't see many teams play the Death Prophet as a position 4. I know that's something that Eastern Europe really like to do, but the push is definitely something that kobolds are going to be worried about. So I also really like if they go down the Beastmaster route, which gives you another way to be able to amplify the Medusa with that inner beast.
Yeah, even just being able to find the people to go in on, right? Like suddenly a Nyx assassin isn't safe to just use the Vendetta to start a gank because he thinks he's not underneath a ward. Well, sorry, the birds might look to try
Radiant
and scat
team
you out
pick.
there if you go for that. Okay, they just go for a pangolin themselves. Again, it's the same sort of mentality that I was talking about before, right? Like illusions can't really deal with the Rolling Thunder either. It'd be going to be pretty useless for the CK in that regard. And they really don't have anything to hit the
10
Pangolier now
seconds
while he's
remaining.
rolling around. So that is something that is a bit of an area of concern for
5
mine.
seconds
Um,
remaining.
could they go something like a Lena here? Just very strong laner. I know it's not 100% revealed what your enemy mid laner could be, but I feel like Lena isn't exactly countered by much of anything. So the dive is essentially gone. Um, maybe a Lashrak just because you've got an Abaddon backing you up could be the way, but they've got the next phase of bans to have that to deal with as well. Invoker instead, okay. It's a nice way to drain the mana as well, right? The EMP, nothing that an Abaddon can really stop either.
It gives you some, at least, ways to be able to make plays across the map, which I think was a bit of a
10
concern for me
seconds
on
remaining.
kobolds. Like Nyx Assassin with Vendetta is pretty decent, but Chaos Knight's
5
relatively
seconds remaining.
immobile. Might go for like a Blink Shadow Blade second, third item to help start, but Invoker can kind of help control the tempo early and at least come online, which I think is something that
Radiant
kobolds
team
really do
ban.
require.
Hmm. And for
Dire
Execration,
team
it
ban.
feels to me like they're just going to look to ban out anything that can hit this Pango, as well as something that's going to outrange the Medusa. So wouldn't surprise me to see, well, the Drow's already gone, but the Sniper removed as well. I feel like this is going to be a pretty free Pango game because they have no BKB piercing
10
disabled. They have
seconds
no one other
remaining.
than the Invoker and can't really count on the Visage to be right clicking the
5
Rolling Thunder.
seconds
So
remaining.
yeah, I feel like Execration are very happy with their draft so far.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've gotten everything that they would be hoping for in this first game. I feel like the Visage is, I don't know. It's still, we'll see if Because for me, I feel like they've dealt with the
Radiant
Visage.
team
That's not
ban.
going to be a huge factor on KOBOLDS from being able to take this game, and I just feel like Execration have covered their tracks perfectly. You
I
see,
feel like kobolds were never going to pick the Phantom Lancer. I'm not sure what
Dire
that
team
ban's all
pick.
about, but well, go off. They're clearly feeling confident with themselves. Just something else that's going to build into a diffusal blade, I guess. But Death Prophet with the Spirit Siphon, you get that onto the real PL, onto the reveals, Pango, lots of ways to clear illusions, Medusa, Split Shot.
10
So I
seconds
feel like it
remaining.
wasn't the greatest PL game.
what are we
5
expecting though from
seconds
Execration?
remaining.
Because there's a lot of flex left with the Death Prophet and the Pangolier.
Hmm. Sure. I think it's just going to be. I wonder if they're even just going to keep the flex going. And that it feels like Execration aren't 100% certain where this Chaos Knight's going either, right? Like,
Mm.
be off lane, it could be safe lane. Um, into the DP, you've got enough burst damage if you pair like a Visage with it, for an example, that Spirit Siphon doesn't have the greatest level of impact once you're like level 2. So maybe that's the route that
Radiant
they're going to go
team
for.
pick.
So I guess you could put Rubik in a couple of different lanes, but nah, I feel like this is kind of just revealed for Shanks though. So I'm thinking this is probably what
Some mid DP, Pango 3, Rubik
10
yeah,
4.
seconds remaining.
I would say so. Right? Like highest level of survivability for the Pango,
5
just being able
seconds
to get
remaining.
away from the CK and the Visage, even just using the shield crash if CK tries to go onto you for a little bit of that damage block, and yeah, you can't really play a Pango in into Invoker, at least in my eyes. DP just so much more reasonable.
So I'm looking to see if kobolds think about. I want the Chaos Knight to be played as a 3. I'm looking for a carry. I think the Drow is a good ban because you want to try and outrange the Medusa, and Execration can only really get on top of range carry with the Pangoli rolling Thunder. So Terrorblade is someone I'm considering. I'm also considering an Arc Warden, which I think is less likely, but Kobolds have pulled out a Visage. I wouldn't be surprised if they go even more cheese, but I think you need a ranged hero with the Nyx Assassin, and I don't know if you can play. Wow,
You
okay.
may now select your heroes.
So
I'm gonna go with Execration for this one. Necro's not a bad hero by any stretch, right? But you know, you've got an Abaddon who's able to get off multiple ways to heal up a target that might be looking to get Reaper's Scythe, gets rid of the Death Seeker debuff. Medusa's always going to be at full HP, so you're never going to Reaper's her. Bob as well does a lot of healing just with a Spirit Siphon. You can't use Reapers on a Pangolier. You're very vulnerable to getting Chain locked down, to getting silenced. Necro doesn't really like building into a BKB. Then you have spells for Rubik to steal. So yeah, it's not 100% sold on this Necro pick, to be perfectly honest. I like
10
Execration.
seconds remaining.
yeah, it's something like we have
5
seen
seconds
the
remaining.
Fills of Visage and the Skadi Necrophos, but it just seems like these heroes together in this draft, it's a bit awkward. It's not like you're against this strength melee carry that Necro as a position 3 is really going to dominate in the lane and then destroy overall through the game. And I'm just, it doesn't seem like there's much synergy with their 5 heroes, but maybe there's some comfort. We'll see if that can be the main thing they fall back on in this game 1.
And plus, I'm always keen to see Shank's style on a position 4 hero, right? We've seen him do it on the Snapfire, we've seen him do it on Earth Spirit. Rubik as well is another one of those heroes that you really put up there for being able to be a bit flashy with how you're looking to play. So I'm keen to see it.
Are there any crazy good abilities that you feel like Shanks could have a lot of impact with this game?
Probably Necros, right? Like that's the big one that I'm looking at. Even if you're able to steal Tornado, it's just another thing to be able to control CK and disrupt a lot of that burst. And I mean, if you're able to steal the Tornado, right, that's another dispel to be able to get through the Ghost Shroud for a Necro.
Yeah, very true. I mean, that'd be exceptional to be able to take away. We could all. There's no like real nullifier builder on Execration. Deuce is never going to go into that, nor the other cores. So, a straight tornado could really be beneficial for them being able to bring him down. Maybe even the good old Spirit Vessel pickup as well. That's always a great item to be able to deal with Skadi.
Prepare
Yeah,
for
for
battle.
sure. Nice. Good luck, friends, coming through from Bob. And surprisingly enough, don't want to jinx it, but no pause at the start of the game.
No, you
So
shouldn't know. Why? It's gonna
it
come out
normally
now.
happens at the very start. That's why I'm a little more confident with being able to reveal it there. So, are you on the execration train as well?
I am on the execration train as well. Bob is a cool guy. We know that. Bob's always been a nice person to interview. He's always a cheerly fellow. And he's going to be playing the Death Prophet this game into Valky's Invoker. But yeah, I'm all execration. Big fan of their draft. Just a lot of meta heroes. I think the Abaddon
30
also pairs
seconds
really
to
nicely with the cores they have. I think the Pangolier is someone who really hates versing these instant stuns to prevent him from getting Roll and Thunder off. Of course. Of course. What? Dude, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming as well. There's no way we do not get a pause to start the game, and you just had to open your mouth.
Well, that's what the mouth is for. But so you're saying that Bob is your? Would you say you call him your favorite member just because of the interviews that he's able to provide?
I would say, yeah, sure. I'd say so. I like Bob. Bob's nice.
Imagine the favoritism. It's got to be Vincenzo, man. He's the TI veteran. You've also got, look at his. I'm a big fan of people that have the little suffixes to the name. We've got the BTS heart. Let's not imagine that that's a K-pop band that he's referencing, but it's the BTS Pro Series. You know, he's showing a little bit of love there.
Maybe
begins.
Palos is up there to contest Bob as well. Of course, how could I shy away from my own voice line carrier?
Wasn't very lucky this season.
Come on, man. Why you gotta do him like that? No, nice play from Vincenzo. Got a D ward. Easy stuff we see often. I mean, you place a wood inside the tower range, you just easily sneak on over, see if they have any vision, get the recognition. That was also a 2-for-2 exchange in the bounties, but with the observer goal going towards execration, a nice way to start this game.
Gonna be a CK1, so I know you were kind of wanting the CK3. To me, it feels kind of like the Razor, where little
Tino?
taking a bit of damage.
That he is. There's another soul assumption up shortly.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? Like I said, the lane together with a CK is very strong. I was initially thinking that if it was going to be a CK3, it had to be a Visage 4. But then, you know, things obviously don't work out too great as Philoslay's
Tino!
put a little bit of rats on.
Is Tino gonna die? Yes,
Yep.
sir, he is. Feels that beautifully done. First blood picked up on the Visage, and he's still got a mango on himself to play with. Maybe they'll actually get aggressive on Shanks, but just a 1-second stun, so the Rubik will be okay.
Very, very economical with his tango usage as well as Philosla. Now back underneath the tower, so that extra armor, that is one of the areas that a Visage is very weak super early on, but I wonder if he's going to have a bit more, particularly mana regen coming out to himself, because Soul Assumption ain't cheap. It's 125, so he's only got 2 left once he uses that Mango for the second time. I feel like they have to wait until they're level 2, though, to go for it, because while you're sitting this low, got that Gravekeeper's Cloak leveled up.
They might get him.
That's what happens.
Ooh.
That's what happens if you're not level 2.
Beautifully done. They get some revenge in the bottom lane. So we take a look at our other side lane. Pelos and Vincenzo beating back Skadi onto the Necrophos, who will be paired up with the Nyx Assassin as well. So, bit of an interesting lane combo with the Nyx and the Necro, as Moody might actually end up going down, but a beautiful double man Impale will hold back the attempt.
Well, what Philosla is saying is, don't worry, bro. Back to full mana. There's nothing I need to be concerned about. As now he hits up onto level 2. So he's got the Gravekeeper's Cloak. Just so much more survivable there. What is that? Come on, quick maths. I want to say for 32% damage reduction just with level 1. And you've got all of those stacks available. Of course, you're going to look to go with Shanks for the trade every single time that you can. Just because it's going to remove one of those stacks.
And what about this mid matchup with Bob on the Death Prophet against Valky's Invoker? It looks like it's a good start for the Death Prophet at the moment, but will this continue to be the case? Jesus.
Tribute to my house.
It becomes easier once you get a few more points
bottom
into
lane.
the cost just for the regen.
Battling out. Tino gets a swash away. Sorry.
You just want more points in the cost, right? Because the Death Prophet is just incredibly sustainable with the Spirit Siphon and the Crypt Swarm. You've got good attack damage, you've got good attack range, and there's not too much that Valky can do here in this lane. Let's see what got coming out to it. It's a raindrops. Okay, that's going to help him from suffering from a little bit of that long-range harass, and doesn't really need to buy anything more for tangos and the like. It would be nice, but to maybe have one salve or something like that, but he'll have that luxury. Really this bot lane that I'm just going to keep looking at, though. Like, that is where all of the kills can potentially happen. Tino, he's level 3 now, so if you get on point with a swashbuckle, that is a very easy way to rip through that Gravekeeper's cloak. Look to go for a bit of a dive onto a Visage. Very slow, 285 movement speed without any points in the Grave Chill. So if he gets the shield crash off onto him as well, that is just a dead Healer Slayer.
See Shanks? No. They're doing a very good job to be able to play away from Fortune Soul. As soon as I say that, Shanks maybe oversteps the boundary a little bit too far, but is able to reposition. Another Soul Assumption gets the kill, but it will cost the life for Feeler's Law. There's Tino with that finishing blow. So Tino's still trying to man-fight Fortune Soul. He does have the abilities up shortly. Tino has to respect this. He's got plenty of one charges.
But have a look at the Visage. 47 mana. He's like, don't worry, bro. Got the kill. Come back. Full mana. Fine with it.
And well, Shanks is going to refill Bob's bottle and stop Valky from getting the top water rune and the bottom one as well. So nice rotation from Shanks.
Hopefully there's some comms as well coming through from KOBOLDS because Necro has an urn and he's going to try and get the first few charges of it onto Vincenzo here. But Invoker, he
might get the kill.
Coswex build.
Scotty not going to actually die to Palos. He's got plenty of one charges. Scotty still holding it to the last second. And they are playing on the edge of KOBOLDS at this top lane.
While he's got that aphotic shield as well, Scotty can't just walk on in. He would have taken the burst damage, so used the wand at the right time to be able to counteract that. But yeah, hopefully... Nope, looks like Valky is going to build the second urn of the team.
Oh,
so
no. Oh, they're on the Medusa. Okay. Dude, everyone's got so many one charges. They're brought low, all of a sudden just a burst of health, and they're out of trouble.
And they're having to be very careful as well against this Nyx Assassin, right? You can't just toss the Mystic Snake into the lane. He's just going to run into the middle of the creep wave, pop the Spike Carapace, and you end up taking a fair chunk of damage before the mana gets back to you.
Does Moody go for this? They have a lane ward.
Rob's going for a bit of a dive. He's ordered up his creep wave so that it's able to tank up a few of the hits, but
top lane.
Alive.
Oh, Moody. No. They got it off, and now bottom lane as well. Fearless is in a bit of trouble. Tino still has a swashbuckle. Is going to go through the Visage underneath the tower's aggro. Fortune Soul attempting to pull him back under, but will not be in range. So nicely done. Tino, level 5, Orb Corrosion, is doing a very good job as you're back to mid we go. Bob is completely taking the tower. First catapult timing with the Exo.
Oh.
Beautiful conversion.
And a regen, which you can bottle up on the bottom side of the river. You hate to see it. I think he's making a bit of a rotation down towards... I mean, might just be trying to take the bounty
Tino
away.
Might be in some trouble. Gonna drag him back, but the disarm or Tino just gets lucky. He's out of trouble. Now what Shanks that they're gonna turn their attention on Tino, trying to man fight with the damage reduction. Tino's not even dead just yet. Another Soul Assumption with the right click will do the job, but Bob shows up, getting some revenge, and they've got a catapult as well to be able to work with, so maybe some extra damage onto the tower.
No, not going to be exorcism damage, but it's still a fair chunk. You know, Bob had a very good start to the game. He's already 1,000 net worth ahead of this Invoker, so I feel like KOBOLDS need to try and make some sort of a rotation with the Invoker. Who has he purchased the urn? Yes, he has, unfortunately. So 2 completed urns with 0 charges on KOBOLDS and no one looking to make kills around it.
Coming down. Oh, he's going to try and chuck out some abilities over to Shanks. 3 heroes to bottom to defend the tower, and Tino without the level 6 is really close to it. But Bob, he's still got plenty of damage to be able to go through them even without the Exo. This Death Prophet is doing so much to be able to hold back Kobolds, and that kill gets them the Rolling Thunder, that they can push back the life of Invoker. They know exactly where he is thanks to the Spirit Siphon. Let's see if he's going to be able to predict with the Crypt Swarm. Bob will not attempt it, so just gets out of the way on Velky.
Done Vincenzo, I'm sure he's going to be pinging it out. Yeah, spams the pigs onto himself, saying he's here. He's out. He has one earn charge at least, so he could make plays now with the cold snap. It still had about 10-second cooldown when he got those initial charges.
Is under attack.
Key thing is that this bottom tower is probably going to go down without the DP even needing to be there.
What is DP doing right now? Look at what aggressive Bob's playing.
Why not? You're a DP. That's what you can do.
And all this going on, and you've got Palace free farming the jungle. Yes, he's underneath a ward, but it looks like it doesn't matter right now. As well, Fortune Soul. That's not a high gun you want to be running up to. Straight to hands of Bob's exorcism. What? No way. Okay. He still dies. I was like, hang on a second. Is this Centaur Conqueror actually on Radiant's side? But nonetheless, Bob gets the kill.
Dire's top tower is
They're going to
under
force
attack.
out, at minimum, a glyph here.
Radiant's bottom tower
Have
is
to wonder
under
how
attack.
much healing they're going to put onto the
Radiant
crypts as well.
structures
Seems
are
like they're pretty
fortified.
happy just to get the kill onto the position 1 carry. Back off a little bit.
Palace almost died top to feel his life. I think Strength Threads
Dire's top
saved
tower
his
is
life.
under attack.
Is he still sticking around? No
I mean,
way
Fearless
he
Love
reads
doesn't have any
this.
soul assumption charges. So, not like he can really do anything. Like 20 damage ain't gonna do shit.
Who else is caught in the river? Actually, on the high ground, it's going to be Moody, chased down from Bob. What is this game? 11 kills, 9 minutes in. It's been Execration just running a rampant through the early game.
It's how they needed to play it, though, right? Like, you've got kill lanes on both sides, except for, you would say, the Medusa Abaddon lane. But the fact that they got away from it without feeding away too many kills is, actually 0 kills, is a big plus for them.
One equation, or one factor I should say that we haven't really paid much attention to is Biscardi on the Necrophos, who will be under an assault as Tino rolling Thunder out. Is going to have one place to be able to bounce back on, and that second stun is all they need to secure the burst. And now they're even eyeing up Fueler's Law as well. He's going to be able to duck into the tree line. Bob continuing to chase. He's got plenty of damage over time. They've got a stun in the telekinesis, so an ambitious attempt at a TP out as Fueler's Law will drop to Tino's burst.
Yeah, it's a rough life to be this Visage. I mean, if you're going to go for it in the first phase, you got to expect that they're going to try and pick some counters to it, and that's just people that can continuously run you down, stun you up, and you'll love those little instances of damage to be able to take you out.
So what's the game plan here for KOBOLDS? Like, how does this lineup somehow find some synergy to work together for the early game?
Scott is
hold on.
about to
Yes.
TP back to lane and immediately dies, so not this. I think you just got to play around what's strong at the time, and right now nothing is. So they don't have any earn charges. It was a failed previous attempt.
They're playing
They
with the
might pull
Invoker.
Tino.
They might. It's got some one charges. Horse is going to give him a little bit of help. Wait, Tino's going aggressive. Okay, Tino. Maybe a bit too deep under the tower, but once again, he's got the damage mitigation to play with. Shanks continuing to heal up the Painkiller, and now they'll be forced to go into Ghost Walk, but with Bob showing up, Exo rolling Thunder out. No one is dead on Execration, as they are just taking so many lives, so much map control away from KOBOLDS.
Radiant's top
I think
tower
Bob
is
got
under
both
attack.
birds as well, with the Exo and a
Radiant's
single
top
right click,
tower
so that's
has
an extra
fallen.
200 gold going to him. He's styling a little bit. He just wants to make plays around the map consistently. Doesn't really need to worry about his own survivability, just because the damage is, to be honest, kind of lacking when the Chaos Knight isn't a factor. So just going to use the Boots of Travel, play around that Exorcism, make a ton of space for his Medusa, and he's doing a great job so far.
Medusa has the Dragon Lance, and it's like the Blade of Alacrity towards the Yasha, so they still have a couple of stacks around the triangle for Palace to be able to fall back on too.
Yeah, and Shanks, he's had that that Death Pulse stolen for about the last at least 2 minutes, and he's getting an immense value out of it. Like, he hasn't even considered going to a different spell just because of how effective it is at this kind of death ball, go against a Nyx assassin and a Visage and run them over. What can you do? Sort of style of play.
Radiant's middle tower
He's
is
high
under
net
attack.
worth in the Invoker, so that just goes to show how good of a start that he's really had on Shanks' Rubik.
Mm-hmm.
Get this, Tino's got Blink and Rolling Thunder. They are eyeing up Fortune Soul. He oversteps the mark. Tino's gonna pounce. They even have the boots of travel coming through from Bob, which won't be a factor as the creep's gonna be killed off, but 3 heroes on Execration is plenty.
Dyer's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even
Radiant's
seen an
bottom tower
attempt
is
at a
under
Reaper
attack.
Scythe this game. We haven't seen an attempt to use those urn charges together with a Cold Snap. We haven't seen a Chaos Knight get active, and that's what a Chaos Knight does, right? He's not going to outfarm a Medusa. You need to get it based off of, like, a
Radiant's
successful
bottom
team
tower
fight
is
with the
under attack.
Phantasm into taking an objective. And it just feels like they haven't been grouping up anywhere near enough.
The value of the Chaos Sign is that you're an exceptional laner. Like, you often win a lot of your lanes, especially when you're paired with a Visage. Like, this is something that you brought up was a really strong lane, and I think they expected to be a winning lane as well, but Execration just honestly played it perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Tino, he played it a little bit crazy as
Radiant's
well, right?
bottom
And it
tower
ended up
is
working
under
out
attack.
for him.
Oh, Bob.
Press smoke and
Gonna
try
break
and
the
catch that
smoke.
Valky.
Valky on the high ground. He doesn't have anyone else nearby, so really awkward position. There was no reactions from Valky. As soon as the smoke popped, he just stood his ground, didn't move at all. And Bob with the Exo, what do they consider? You've,
Roche.
yeah, only 1 point in the lucky shot, but a little bit of minus armor.
You got the Exo. You've got, well, I was about to say you've got Chenzo there for the Curse of Avernus to maybe help it out a little bit, but seems like he might be on smoke breaking duty. I feel like they're actually going to be lacking in damage. Like, the exorcism is nearly gone. Maybe if it was level 2.
Oh, they want to fight. Tino charging up the ultimate is going to seal Filzler in a compromised position. It can bounce back on multiple wards, and Kobolds, they just have to stand still and watch on the high ground, as there is no way they can offer some assistance. But Fortune Soul, so going to be a bit cautious. It's a beautiful tornado to break the team fight in half as Skadi steps in, drops aside to cut away the life for one, and now they're on Vincenzo. A crit from Fortune Soul would net them their 6th kill of the game, and finally, Kobolds showing some signs of life.
They are, but it's based off of some pretty big mistakes by Execration, right? Like, he's nearly level 8 and he doesn't have a point in the borrowed time on the Abaddon. They went for that attempt when you'd completely run out of damage, basically, right? You had no exorcism, you were low on mana on a lot of people, you didn't have the information of where Kobolds were, and you expended Rolling Thunder to try and kill a position 5. So, is it really worth it? Probably not.
Yeah. Back out on the map on Execration, back to getting kills and getting some map control. They're looking to play around bottom where they have 2 decent wards in the jungle.
Playing around that siege creep again, right? Bob, nearly level 12. I wonder if he's saying to Vincenzo, just try and get as far away as possible. I need to hit level 12, and, well, he's going to be 15 experience short. Have the Exo to use, I suppose, but
Well, they've got no sentry. So
he
Mooney's
knows
actually
he
able
doesn't
to
have a
enter the
borrowed time
fight.
either.
Radiant's middle
Vincenzo just gets away, but Tino, that's a massive rolling thunder, cutting the middle of the fight. He's even got the Aghanim shard all ready to play with. Bob's going to try and TP out, but Fortune Soul, what a beautiful placement from the Chaos side in the nick of time. Cancels the TP, and another mistake for Execration, giving some momentum over to Radiant.
I wonder when Scotty... Well, he can't do it now, but
Dyer's top tower
I think you
is
just
under
need to keep
attack.
playing together on Kobolds, and I'm sure Valky's like, hey, where's my urn charges? You know? But, oh, sorry. Necro's gone ahead and sniped them away from you. They got to keep playing together. They haven't taken this mid tower yet. They've got some decent Roche-taking potential, to be honest, with a Chaos Knight, as long as you get that Reality Rift off, and with the Visage Birds. It's a lot of damage that you're able, to input onto Roshan.
This is honestly some really nice sequence of events, though, for Kobolds. You've got the Chaos Knight that's
Dyer's middle
surprisingly
tower is
doing
under
okay to keep up in farm compared to the Medusa. We're still around 2,000 gold behind, but with the involvement we've seen in the fights and the farm that he's been getting, he's doing okay. And Valky has the Midas, so his game is going to continue to accelerate.
It is, I'm still on the fact that like the only reason Fortune Soul is anywhere
Radiant's
near
bottom tower
the
is under attack.
being competitive in net worth is just because they've
Dire's
played it
middle
correctly.
tower
You know, they've
is under
done
attack.
what is good about their draft well. They've played around the rest of the team, so any chance that they're just going to be split up
Radiant's
like
top
this,
tower
I just
is
feel like
under
you can't
attack.
be beating kills away like that. And Fortune Saw on the bottom side, right? He's kind of alone, and Palos, he's making the rotation down.
Fortune Soul is no reinforcements that he's going to get. So Tino, triple stun, make it a fourth with a beautiful blink timing. Now back around mid. Vincenzo finally has a point in the borrowed
Radiant's
time.
middle tower is
Bob
under attack.
hesitant to use the ultimate. Doesn't feel like this is the perfect fight for the EXO, but with Tino showing up, they're going to be able to block the retreat avenue for Fearless last, so the Visage will be another casualty of war.
Be very careful as well now. It's a level 12 Rubik who's just stolen Spirit Sight. Sorry, Soul Assumption, level 3. So
Radiant's bottom
it's
tower has
pretty
fallen.
scary to have to go up into that, and Palos, he just did some
Dire's
objective-based
middle tower
gaming,
is
right?
under
He's like,
attack.
well, they used the glyph previously. We don't even need to expend the exorcism. I feel like they might be looking to go for a kill around the wards that they've placed pretty deep-ish. And if they can catch out the Necrophos with the exorcism popped, they could look to convert that into Roshan. But Bob seems like pretty confident in just going straight Rosh. Rolling Thunder for a little bit might be a bit challenging, but they've scouted it out.
I feel like Execration can easily take a fight here, even if Radiant have all the information. As there we go, Rolling Thunder's out. Tina's gonna look to hold back KOBOLDS. Just opening up the pit, but Roche is still pretty healthy, so a bit of a wasted Rolling Thunder from Tino. They don't get anything out of her.
Now they fight.
Yeah, they're gonna go in. Fortune Soul dragging Palos out of the pit. The Aegis will be claimed. Scythe, it's not enough to get the life of Palos as Vincenzo's doing an exceptional job to keep the Medusa healthy. Now Radiant, they expended everything trying to get rid of Palos' life, but they won't be successful. And the consequence ever so dire as Valky chased back underneath his own triangle as Execration lose absolutely no one and they take everything.
Just a little bit of
Radiant's middle tower
this
is under
execution
attack.
coming through from KOBOLDS in particular, right? Like they used the Ghost Shroud there, didn't pop his 21 charges on the Necrophos, and it wasn't like it was a snap thing either. He had a good 3 or 4 seconds where he could have done it. Nyx Assassin finishes that fight with the Vendetta off cooldown
Radiant's
when
middle tower
pretty sure
has fallen.
right-clicking onto Palos, even with the
Dire's top
Aphotic
tower
Shield
is
and the
under
heal
attack.
that came through from the Abaddon, would have taken him out prior to that Reaper's Scythe. So it's a bunch of things that they're just not doing well as a team on KOBOLDS, unfortunately.
It's 13,000 net worth lead and already at 98% probability for Execration at 20 minutes in. My oh my.
They're looking to steal some of these stacks away. Just with a Pango and a DP. See you later, Ancients. Dealt with them very nicely. 25 seconds left on the glyph, so if they were to push up on the top side, they will have a way to defend against that kind of assault. But they can just wait for the Exorcism to come back up, right? 25 seconds, then it's going to have the Arcane Rune. Going to look to try and catch this Nyx for a bit of a free kill.
The Rolling Thunder expended, so 70-second cooldown. But back to getting some map control out for Execration. They do have this top lane shoved in, so that will be a bit of a concern to starve KOBOLDS inside the base. Ooh, wait, Shank's still Vendetta. Okay. I don't know if they'll get much out of it in a pickoff, considering the position that KOBOLDS are in, but this could be interesting for an opener.
There's that Arcane Rune. Immediately
Dire's
dispelled.
top tower is under attack.
At least you got the EXO usage out of it, I suppose.
Dire's
Yeah.
structures are
Let's see.
fortified.
Bob falling a bit low.
Radiant structures are
He's the
Vincenzo.
one with the Aegis.
Ready to do a really good job, but Age is going to be claimed. Soul Assumption was enough damage to be able to get rid of Bob's life. So the T3 tower did take a lot of damage, but they don't get the crazy amount of value out of the first Ages.
They're getting pretty damn close to this Aghanim Scepter on Palace, though. They're going for a smoke, trying to catch him out before he gets up that next big item. Like it is the deuce that you're going to try and catch.
Look at Vincenzo's positioning though. Right next to the Medusa, hand in hand. Smoke's gonna pop. Moody doesn't get the double stun, but all the mana burn is gonna prove to be an issue for the Medusa, but he's not even dead. They still haven't dealt with Palace's life as they're continuing to stand their ground. Palace brought back to the middle, but that's exactly the position he wants to be in, as Tino has all the control they need to kill off Scardy, and they're not even done. Tino's hunting for more. He's going to run into the Visage in the river, but no stun or the damage to cancel out the TP. But in the end, again, 0 casualties on Execration.
Yeah, they're just not unfortunately connecting through as a team, right? Like, you have a pretty good initiation through, unfortunately misses the stun onto the Abaddon as well, which would have forced an early usage of the borrowed time, but Necro's not there. We've seen one effective usage out of that Reaper's Scythe, where everyone on the team is very well aware of who the key target is, who to spam your spells on before you're able to get a reaction out of Vincenzo for it.
Because of the Arcane Room prop prior, Bobby's already got the Exo back up. So over to mid they go.
Probably won't need it, but Vincenzo's got a Helm of the Dominator coming out for himself just to make life even easier.
Middle tower has fallen.
I think Vincenzo's played a exceptional game. You know, we have just seen he's done a very good job to keep Palace healthy, which I've been really impressed by. The Abaddon can be a bit of an awkward support to position with. There can be games where you want to be the smoke breaker, or there can be games where you just need to stand behind your carry as well. Tino is going to see Velky posturing a little bit too aggressively outside the base. He gets the bounce back in the stun, and they have the vision to kill off Velky. So the Invoker out of the equation. Now with the rest of Execration, they can sweep into the middle of the fight, although Fortune Soul looking to jump into the right. A quick and easy combo is able to get rid of the life of the Rubik. And now Palos is going to force him further back inside the base. The Stone Gaze is out, so Kobolds tucking their tails back inside, and Palace, look at him go. Everyone turned to stone. They just can't retreat away from the aggressive maneuvers on Execration. Multiple buybacks coming into play, but Palace is already outside the base. They can't even keep up to the Medusa.
Yeah, the only reason they're getting a few of these kills is because they got for some kind of insane dives, right? Tino.
Back on a bomb. He's got 2 Spirit Siphon charges still to play with. It's a lot of damage coming through for the mana burn, though. Moody puts a dent into the health pool of the Death Prophet. In the end, Execration, they lose a couple, but they force out so many buybacks.
They have some important buybacks. You've still got the bottom lane pushing in, so someone's going to need to go back and deal with this. Seeming to ping out that they might think they have some sort of vision inside the base. They don't, but it's a time where 25 minutes in, they're trying to take down only their second tier 1 tower of the game, while their tier 4s start to get beat on.
Oh, well. Alacrity's not even going to do too much with the catapult, but they do have a nice ward behind the tower, so Kobolds have a lot of information to help them take this tier 1, but like you said, it's only the second tower they've been able to claim this game.
Just seeing what, like, next big items are really going to impact this game, right? Like, I guess with the CK, if you get the BKB, like I said, against the Pango, all of the different ways that you've got to deal with illusions, it's not going to be that effective, but I think it's just important that you can consistently stay on top of someone like Bob, for example. Make sure that he's not getting the Spirit Siphon in onto yourself as well. See you later, Birds, with the very fair and balanced Harpy Scout, revealing everything about the interior of KOBOLDS' base.
Now more of their base is going to be in trouble. Execration. Tina's actually going to think about charging up the ultimate. Behind the barracks they go. A quick and easy kill onto the Nyx Assassin, and that's all the space they need to now get the map control and also the barracks as Necrophos stands over the mark. Tino offers the control. There's no hope of the sustain. Fortune Soul's going to look to jump in, rectifying the previous deaths, but he'll be sent packing thanks to the fear from Bob. Now they're onto the Invoker. Shanks,
so much
he gets a triple kill. Shanks, he stole the Death Seeker.
Pretty damn effective with that Fade Bolt, that's for sure. He's even got the Vambrace on the int form, so Probably going to be Fearless Lad dying again.
On what?
Give him a
Go get
rampage.
Just go for it, Shakes. What are you doing? Palace
Come on,
is
Fortune Soul.
charging. Yeah, they
he's
know it.
in.
Fortune Soul, no, get away,
It's
Shakes. He wants the rampage. Chaos Knight's falling low, but a BKB. Boo. Give him the rampage. Oh, Dusa? Okay, he's going to be all right. They give him the Aphotic
Time is probably
Shield.
ticked out by this point.
Yeah. But still, come on, give him the rampage. Shakes deserve it.
Yeah. Been praying pretty damn well as Skadi about to feed his life away, unfortunately.
Oh, one more right click over the throne. Pelos now towards the tier 4 towers, and no buyback on Velky, no buyback on Skadi, and this is looking like all she wrote in our game 1.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're playing with him a little bit there. Vincenzo literally just standing in front of them.
Fortune Soul. Okay. Sit on. But now Bob's back. Got a lot of resources to play with. Tino as well with the Rolling Thunder is going to jump the backline. A beautiful combo. Tino finds both supports and their health pool instantly evaporating. The Aghanim Shard is the only thing that stands in between them, and the kill over towards the Visage is now with the throne exposed. KOBOLDS is going to have to watch from the safety of their fountain.
Radiant's ancient
Oh.
is under attack.
Okay. Gotta make sure you got your mana shield up, Pelos. This is gonna be BKB to play with. But without the Abaddon nearby, Vincenzo! Oh, he just gets it. Just gets the health off. They're still gonna kill up Pelos. But the throne, in the end, will pop out. Execration take game 1. A very convincing game 1 at that.
Yeah, came down to the draft for mine as well as just a bunch of little execution errors, right? Multiple urns, not playing around your Necrophos and Invoker when you finally did get those urn charges for the Cold Snap and all other little instances of damage. Kill lane probably didn't go as well as they would have liked. A lot of good trains coming out from Tino in particular, and Bob just dominating in that mid lane too. So I think Execration just played solid. They made a little bit of clowny moves happen too, but it was a convincing victory.
Yeah, that was. It was Execration that we kind of expecting to have a bit of an edge in this game. We were both very big fans of their draft, and we saw from KOBOLDS, I think the one big thing that they were requiring was the lanes to go really well. You know, that Chaos Knight Visage lane needed more kills than it got. The Necrophos didn't body the Medusa lane, and that's kind of expected though. You picked a Necro into a ranged, add your hero, not like a melee strength, and unfortunately for KOBOLDS, it got in a position to die too quick. And for Execration, this is just props them. They were able to execute a really solid draft, and now they've got a game advantage in our first best of 3 of the night. We'll find out though if they can continue with this momentum into the second game.